Hey everyone, welcome back to another special edition of Kevin's Kreations here on Geektopia Island. I'm Kevin.
I'm Cardwell.
And we're here because the new set's out and we're about to go over it because, that's what we do.
Yep, got to brew them up.
Yeah, the new set, the 7th, is out and it is the last set of the cluster and it is actually super cool. Like, we're super excited to see what all kinds of shenanigans are going to happen out of this set because it's really going to shake up a lot. I really do believe so. So, as always, y'all know how these work.
Yep.
We're going to go through the cards. It's a lot more chill of a thing, but
relaxed too, guys.
We're going to go through the cards, and me and him will have differing opinions, or we'll be like, that card's awesome, or that card's terrible. And
it'll be good if it's New Frontiers or limited. And wonder if possible, there's already card ban, correct?
Yeah.
So
or not playable.
Or not playable.
Sometimes cards are not playable.
It happens, and there's always a couple in the sets,
Yeah. But before we get into it, guys, we should remind you that we do have a Patreon. The link is down below. Go check it out. It just takes $1 to give us some love and support. We greatly appreciate it. Also down below, you'll find our FoW Grimoire, which has this whole set in it, so you can build a deck with it, which is pretty cool. Also, if you're looking for a certain color when we're going through this, it's going to be timestamped to where those colors start. Or if you want to see what we think of certain cards, it's in that color. Go check it out.
Yeah.
We always go rulers first, and then we start with white, and we just go down that way. But it's a decent sized set, and it's going to be pretty fun.
Yep, just bear with us. Sometimes these cards are hard to read on this computer screen as well, so.
Yeah. All right,
let's do it.
Let's do it. So first up, we're starting with our boy Satan in the 7, because it's the 7 fallen angels is what it's about, and Satan. He's the main dude of him.
He's numero uno.
So he is the colorless ruler of the set. You cannot use this card as your starting ruler. He can only be in your sideboard, essentially. You pay 0. You may reveal this card from outside the game and keep it revealed until the end of the game. Pay 2 black if you control 2 fallen angel rulers that are astral. Swap those rulers with this card. Play this ability only if this card is revealed from outside the game.
Yep. So no matter what, beginning of the game, just reveal it.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And then he has a God's Art of pay 0 non-magic stone entities your opponents control. Lose all abilities until the end of turn. Destroy all non-magic stone entities. All players discard their hands. Remove all cards and all graveyards from the game. Then put a 40/40 Darkness High God Resonator token with Eternal Barrier, and when this card leaves the field, you lose the game into the field. Play this ability only during your turn.
Yep.
So it gives them one chance to answer it, because essentially this card is meant to be like, hey, we're both in top deck mode, but I have a 40/40 that gets to kill you.
Yeah, just one swing. That's all I need. Just one little swing. And it has barriers, so good luck. You have to make me sack it.
It's a 40/40 that kills both players, so
yeah,
just what it is.
That's how you go for it. It's pretty cute. He has no judgment sign. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like all these colorless rulers they're printing out that have no sides. They're just like, I'm there. All right, we got our snakebite lady, Carolina. She is a fallen angel, judgment of green and a black tag team. They all have tag teams of fallen angel. You can play only 1 spell per turn, but why? Because she likes to have her big meals. You tap, produce a 2-will of any combination of any attribute. And then she has a God's Art of Gluttony. It costs 0. Spells you control with total cost 4 or more cannot be canceled until end of turn. Whenever this card total cost 4 or more enters the field on your turn, draw 2 cards. That's insanely good. And that's early game advantage to be able to get a 4th turn, or second turn 4 drop that draws you 2 cards.
Yeah, she's super strong.
When you judgment, she has flying, barrier of total cost 2 or less. Prevent all damage that would be cost of this card by resonators with total cost 2 or less. So she eats up all the little dudes. If this card would deal damage to a J/resonator, deals damage, double damage instead. You may play this only 1 spell each turn and then tap to produce 2 wills. Simple as that.
She by far is one of the strongest rulers, I think, just on paper.
Yeah.
We're not sure exactly what she can do, but getting 2 free mana makes you pretty already strong.
Yeah, by turn, how other rulers work, you can basically have 4 or 5 mana turn 1.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
The next ruler we have is Belial. He is the white-black ruler of the set. He is tag team fallen. If you're setting your starting life, you set it minus 2,000 instead, so you start at 20 life instead of 40. Resonator tokens you control get +2/+2 in Bane. And then Fallen, which is the mechanic, so is the new mechanic. If you use the God's Art this turn, they get that Fallen text. And the Fallen text on him is you cannot lose the game, prevent all damage that will be dealt this turn. to you. And then Pride is pay 0, draw a card.
Simple as that.
When he judgments, he's an 8/8 flyer. Resonator tokens get +4/+4, Bane and Drain. And then enter, put 2 4/4 light, darkness, fallen angel tokens into play with flying. And then fallen, you cannot lose the game, prevent all damage dealt to you. So he has literally 2 instances of I can't lose the game, prevent damage. Because you have 2 rulers with God's Art, so as long as you time them at the right time,
yeah,
you get to be like, hey, cool.
Just not losing the game.
And also when he judgments, he makes 24 power.
Yeah, just like that.
Which is pretty gross.
Just for two mantas to judge.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty awesome. Now, next one we have is Beatrice. She is the blue-black Fallen Angel ruler. If you would draw a starting hand, you would draw a starting hand -1 card, and your maximum hand size is decreased by 1 until the end of the game instead. God's Art, Greet, pay 0. If you have 0 cards in your hand, draw 2 cards. Null, at the end of your turn, draw a card. So she helps, as you can tell, she's the null effect, and if you don't remember what null is, basically it triggers when you have no cards in your hand.
Yeah.
So it gives you an extra free card if need be. She turns into a 5/8 Flying Bane. Enter, return up to 2 non-magic stone, non-J ruler entities your opponents control to their owner's hand. Null, at the end of your turn, draw a card. She's already kind of lackluster compared to the other 2. So we'll see what her cards can actually do.
Yeah, she seems that way, but she's pretty strong because if you get null, you get to free draw cards at the end of the turn, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Next up is Astima. It is the red-black ruler. She's Judgment red-black, tag fallen. Her drawback is you cannot win the game, your opponents cannot lose the game. Whenever an entity your opponent controls is put into the graveyard from the field, choose one. This ability triggers only once per turn. You produce a red or a black, or you draw a card. And then God's Art Envy, search your deck for card name Inferno, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Card's insane. Like, I still like this ruler, even though she does say you can't win the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, but being able to get free mana or draw cards off of killing things, you're going to be innately doing that in red-black, because that's what those 2 colors do. It's just free value.
Yeah.
And then her judgment is a 12/12 flying precision first strike bane. You cannot win the game, your opponents cannot lose. Whenever an entity your opponent controls is put into the graveyard from the field, choose one. This triggers only once. Produce a red and a black, or draw 2 cards.
Which is a lot.
And then enter, destroy up to 2 target J resonators your opponent's control. So when she judgments, she kills all the world.
Yeah.
And
just everything.
Immediately when she judgments, you kill 2 things, so you get to trigger, draw 2 cards, or get 2 mana. So you enter, kill 2, draw 2.
Yeah.
Nuts. And like, yes, she gets a lot when she judgments, but she kind of has to, because you can't win the game inherently.
Yeah. You able to like super win the game is you have to remove her, which is possibly good with Satan. Probably your tag team with Satan.
Yeah, you have to judgment her and then flip her back to the ruler side again. She has to be dead for you to do that, and it's kind of ridiculous.
Kind of super hard. That's where Brad cards come into play.
Yeah.
All right, next one is Dante, Fallen Angel. He is a mono black Fallen Angel, God's Art, Sloth. Pay 0. This card gains cards in the all removed areas and all graveyards lose abilities. Simple as that, but with 1 black mana judgment. What does it happens? He's a 7/8 flying. Enter. Search your deck card name, the Vigilius Rebel against Satan. Oh, yeah, Rebel against Satan. Reveal it and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck, and then we'll get to that card when we get there. But it's synergy immediately.
He's inherently, he's kind of bad.
Yeah.
It depends on how good that card is, but I'll tell you that card's worth it. So
yeah, it really is.
And then the ruler that I'm actually most excited about is Asmodeus. It is Judgment 2 black, Fallen tag. You must have exactly 60 cards in your deck. As this game starts, you may not have this card in your side deck, so he cannot be there. Tap, banish a non-J ruler entity. Put 4 counters on this card. Remove the top 2 cards of your deck from the game. God's Art Lust. Pay 0. Remove the top 7 of your deck from the game. Put X1 counters on each J resonator you control, where X is the number of different names among the cards removed this way.
Nice.
So he just gets to make your dudes big.
Yeah.
And then he judgments into a 2/2 flyer with J resonators you control get +1 with a 1/1 counter on them, gain swiftness. And then tap, banish a non-J ruler entity, put 4 1/1 counters on this card. But remember, you've been putting counters on the front side, so he's automatically going to be a much bigger person on the back.
Yeah, with swiftness.
Yeah, and yeah, he gets swiftness and gains swiftness for all your stuff. So if you've already done his God's Art on the front, then all your dudes are going to get swiftness when he judgments, which is gross.
Which is pretty silly. And you know, 60 cards, it's just more cards.
Yeah, it's not really that bad.
No, it really isn't. If you played Magic forever, then you're already used
then
to
you
it.
know what it is.
You just don't have to worry about land, which is amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Our very first Resonator in white, of course, is Avatar of the Will of Asmodeus, or Amadeus, sorry. 2 white and 1. The 9/9 flying barrier black Darkness J Resonators cannot attack or block. Tap produce 2 white. This card's ridiculous. It's a great sideboard card, and possibly even main, but definitely sideboard.
Yeah. In a set where every ruler is black, except for one, and you can't have that one until the others are dead.
Yeah.
This card's insanely good.
So why not? I know it's on both sides, but if you literally play, this card is good for all the other rulers that you want to play
if
with.
You're playing Excalibur, you're just like, hey, cool.
Yeah, thanks. Great
just
A.
sit there.
That's super good. Play it.
Next is Belial's Hymn. It is 1 white and 1 for a chant. It is quick cast. Put a 4/4 light Darkness Resonator into field with flying. Then Resonator tokens you control get +4/+4 until the end of turn. Draw a card. This card is cool. If you're playing Belial, it's really good. If you're not, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, that's just strictly how it is. Like, this card is strictly made for Belial. I mean, you could use it otherwise, but it's not as strong.
Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely, you can use it in limited for sure.
Oh, yeah, limited. It's a
Limited's
bomb.
awesome, yeah.
You're like, cool, sweet. All my dudes are big.
But
neat.
in a Belial deck, you might want to have more things in the deck besides this one. Maybe 1 or 2, but not too much. Belial's Messenger. It's a 1-drop beast with 3/5 flying. Enter. If your life is 2,000 or less, put a 4/4 Lightness Darkness Angel token in the field with flying. Fallen. This card gains the following text. Blah, blah, blah. When this card is put in the graveyard from the field, draw a card. So not a good use of the Fallen technique, but it's a 1-drop, 8 power or 7 power immediately.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I don't like it in standard and New Frontiers. It's awesome in limited because it makes a token, and anything in limited that makes a token is automatically good.
Yeah, with already 7 power flying turn 1, that's good.
Yeah, no, like it doesn't matter in limited. Like anything that makes a token, if it costs a lot, it's still good.
I mean, I would draft at least 10 of these if possible. Literally, you're just putting like 7 power every turn.
You're like, cool, deal with it.
Do it.
Next is Charlotte, Inheritor of the 7th Power. It is 2 white, quick cast, flying, barrier black. It's a 6/7. You may play this. You may pay a white less to play this card if your opponent played a God's Art this turn, so it hates the Fallen Angels.
Yep.
Enter. You may reveal a light chant with total cost 1 you own from outside the game. Play it by paying its cost. Put it back outside the game as it resolves. You may not reveal an alternate card this way. This card gets +1/+1 for each guidance counter on entities you control.
Wow.
So they finally have started making support for the older rulers, which is really, really nice.
Yep.
And they didn't support the other tag rulers that well, so it really makes your life better because it gives all the single rulers stuff. And she says each guide counter, but they meant to put guidance counter. But
yeah,
regardless, this card is 2 mana. Go get a 1-drop chant from outside the game and play it.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a whole lot of really good 1-drop chants.
And let's say you go second and they do their God's Art first turn, then you pay your will coin to flash this in as a 6/7, and then enjoy that.
Yeah,
sure.
She's super good.
Yeah,
like definitely worth playing and thinking about if you're playing white in this format right now.
For sure. Next one is Choir of the Fallen Angels. It's a chant for 1 white. Quick cast, Remnant. Ooh, I like this. So you may pay a Darkness more to play this card from the graveyard. Put a 4/4 Fallen Angel token with flying in the field. So if it was played from the graveyard, put 2 field instead. So therefore, for 3 mana, you can have 8 or 12 flying. That's pretty good, especially if you flip over the gentleman really quick. But we gotta see what the other cards do to make this even worth it, you know.
But again, this card in limited is a bomb.
This card in limited is super good.
Yeah, I'll have free value.
Yeah, thanks Flyers.
Cradle of Fleeting Hope. It is 1 white for an addition. Draw a card when it comes into play, and then when this card is put into the graveyard from the field, put 2 4/4 angels into play with flying.
Yep, simple as that.
It's a good card for Asmodeus because he gets to tap banished entities. So that's what it's for, is you get free value out of him.
Yep, and a good heavy metal.
It's still really good because if you're playing it with Asmodeus, it gives you a way to fight aggro.
Yeah. Next is Hand of the Void. It's a 1 white chant, quick cast. Recover target resonator. If this card was played from the graveyard, rest chosen target and draw a card instead. Null, Remnant, it's meh.
This card's weird. It could
is
be
weird,
cool,
yeah.
but I don't really see it having a whole lot of value right now in New Frontiers.
I would say limited for sure. For if you're playing white with all these, you might as well have more tricks. But I wouldn't play it otherwise.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Recover a Resonator hasn't really done a whole lot of good in the game,
Yeah.
sadly.
Exactly.
Next up is Hunting Angel. It is 2 white and 2 for a 12/12 flyer. Enter, destroy target Resonator your opponent controls. You gain life equal to its defense. Pay a white, discard this card, destroy target attacking Resonator. And then Fallen Trigger. Whenever you gain life, this card deals that much damage to your opponent.
This card's good.
Super good.
It's really good.
Limited, this card is a bomb.
Yeah, for sure.
I will pay 4, kill your dude, and gain life, and hate your life in limited.
Exactly. And if you can do Fallen Trigger real quick, then you kill a dude. They take all that damage that you just killed their biggest dude with, and you gain life. And it's just really good. And if early game you're fighting aggro, you can kill their strongest attacker. It's insane.
Also, if you give that thing Drain, you get to win the game.
Yeah. Yeah, really, pretty much. Next one is Prideful Rule. It's a 1 white and 2 chant. Quick cast. You may pay 2 less to play this card if your life is 2,000 or less. Destroy target non-magic stone entity. Put a 4/4 Fallen Angel token with flying on the field. Super good, especially if you, for late game or at the beginning of your main standard game, you just pay 1 white and get a dude and kill a dude.
Yeah, no.
Solid.
Paying 1 white, kill an entity?
Entity, yeah, no.
It doesn't matter what it is. That card's amazing in Belial.
Yeah.
It's not so good with anyone else, but it's meant for Belial, so
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Or even, I still think even late game, I would just definitely put it.
Yeah. Next is Revealing the Power of Salvation. It is 1 white chant quick cast. Target any number of players. The chosen targets gain 1,000 life. Target J Resonator gains +6/+6 and barrier black until the end of turn. When this card is discarded by a spell or ability your opponent controls, draw 2 cards.
Weird.
It's okay.
It's okay. Maybe it could be sideboard better, because there's a lot of like dudes that say discard 2 cards, or this can help. But what are they doing? Trying to make a commander set out of
Yeah,
Force of Will?
I don't think this is worth it.
No.
Honestly, like it's cool, but I just don't think it's worth playing because
No.
there's better to do for 1 mana.
Exactly. The next one is Graveyard Amadeus. It is 1 white addition. It's a demonic world. Keep that in mind. Enter, you may gain 1,000 life multiplied by X, where X is the number of demonic worlds with different names you control. You've just gained all the life ever.
Yay! Because
yes.
Wolfgang needs that.
Yeah, that's so good.
It's super good for him actually because it's a 1 mana addition that you get for free pretty much.
And it's another name, so you might as well.
It's super strong.
Super strong.
We got the first boon, the 7th boon. Amadeus, the Holy Spirit, is 1 white chant, quick cast, choose 1, remove all Resonator tokens from the game, cancel target God's Art. So, like I said earlier when we were talking about this set has a lot of checks and balances, which is really, really nice in itself.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole lot of really good, thought process on them on making the set balanced. And yes, there's weird cards and busted cards, but they have cards that literally balance a whole ruler.
Yeah. And you don't even have to wait until next set for it to happen.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens. They're like, oh no, we need to make this card to balance it out. And it's too late by then.
But yeah, this card literally is like, hey, Belial, no, get out.
Yeah, get out.
I'm done with you and your tokens.
Super sideboard card.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll go into the red. And it's Cradle of Scorching Heat. It's a 1-drop addition. So enter, draw a card, seems good enough. When this card is put in the graveyard from the field, it does 800 damage to each J Resonator your opponent controls. Now, with you being able to sack whatever entity you want, this was probably good.
Yeah, it's super good. It gives you, again, the checks and balances against Belial. It allows Asmodeus to not just go overran. Next is Demon of Explosions. It is 3 red and 1 for a 12/12. It should have flying because it's got wings, but it suffers Force of Will.
Right.
What
It's on
happens.
fire, so it can't swing.
Anyways, enter. This card deals 1,000 damage to target player or J Resonator. Pay a red, discard this card. This card deals 500 damage to target player or J Resonator.
Yeah.
Card is really good for what it is. It's really good in Carlina because you can either play it or you can just discard it to have more triggers.
Yeah, exactly. Next one is Envious Dragon. He's a 1 red dragon 0/0. This card gains flying, swiftness, precision, drain, barrier, quick cast, and eternal in all zones, as long as your opponent controls a J Resonator with that ability. When your opponent controls, fun. The attack of this card becomes equal to the highest attack among J Resonators your opponent's controls, and defense is the same thing of your opponent's controls. This card's weird.
I love this card. Like, in
Yeah.
terms of flavor, this card is amazing in the way it's built.
Yeah, for sure.
However, I already know that they have to deal with this card as a company, because if they don't, then there's an infinite loop that gets started if your opponent has an Envious Dragon that has a counter on it. If an Envious Dragon, then your opponent's side has a 1/1 counter, then you just started an infinite loop with your infinite Envious Dragon. Because the way the rules work, state-based effects of attack is checked at the very end of like things. So if your dude's a 1/1 and they have a dude that's a 2/2 with a counter, like a 1/1 with a counter, your dude immediately gets to be a 2/2, which then their dude checks, and your dude has a 2/2.
And it just goes.
So then you get it to be a bigger,
Yeah.
and it just keeps going up and up and up. So they have to figure out how to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing.
So
but just don't play Envious Dragon into an Envious Dragon, and you're okay.
with a counter.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Yeah, that's not good.
But overall, the card, I really like the card. I think it's
silly.
It's weird, like you said. I don't know if it's got a place in New Frontiers, but it's really cool and limited for sure.
Yeah.
Next is Fallen Angel of the Chasm. It is 1 red for a 4/4 flyer. If this card is played from your hand, you may remove it from the game as it resolves. If you do, it gains play this card from the removed areas without paying its cost, as long as it's in your removed area. Other Fallen Angels you control gain swiftness and barrier.
I
it's
like
a weird
it.
mechanic.
Yeah.
But I like the idea. Because it allows you early game to play it when you don't have anything else to do and just auto remove it.
Yeah.
And be like, cool, when I need to kill you, I get to. They're like, cool, play this later. All my dudes gain swiftness. Die.
That's super cool. I like that card.
It's a neat mechanic, and I haven't seen it played in a game like that, but in any kind of card game before like this, and it's kind of really cool.
Yeah. And if anything, it's just a turn 1 swiftness and barrier, Fallen Angels.
Yeah. It gives your other dudes swiftness, which is cool.
Ridiculous. All right, next is Flame of Oblivion. It is a 1 red chant. Put the top 3 cards of your deck in the graveyard. If this card was played from the graveyard, instead put the top 3 cards in target player's deck in their graveyard, then draw a card. Null, Remnant. No, you know this, Remnant. You get to play from the graveyard. What is this card for?
It's
no.
Weird. I don't know what it has a purpose yet for, but it could be useful.
It could be. It sucks that the Remnant, you can't choose whether if you want to do it to your opponent or yourself. Because if you're trying to just do a recursion deck, then this is perfect. You're just like 1, mill 3. You can choose
to target player's deck.
Target player's deck.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can. And null if you discard
like
your hand.
I would assume you want to use this to mill yourself to do silly shenanigans with your own graveyard.
That's exactly
But it's still kind of weird.
Otherwise, don't play that card.
Yeah.
Don't.
Prideful Fire. It is 1 red. Quick cast Remnant. This card deals X damage to target J resonator, where X is 3,000 minus your life.
All right.
So if you're playing Belial, it's pretty cool because it's 1
good.
mana, 10 damage. Pretty neat.
Super neat.
But if you're not, then it's a weird card.
And it's Remnant, so no extra tricks to play Remnant. You just do it.
Yeah.
Card's good.
It's pretty cool. You get to be like, hey, cool, kill your thing. Limited, it's really cool because you're going to be a low life at some point in time, and it just gets better.
For sure. Next one is Raging Ogre. It's 1 red and 2. The 8/8, you may pay 2 less to play this card. Entity controlled was put in the graveyard from the field. It's weird that they don't just put Revenge or something like that. Whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on this card, it gains swiftness and precision until end of turn. This, compared to like the rest of the whole thing that we've read, this is kind of useless, but it's good at the same time, you know? Like basically by itself, it's a really good card, but other than that, no.
Limited, this card's real strong if you get ways to put counters on stuff, but otherwise it's not so good.
Yeah, like, no, it really isn't.
It wants to be, but it's just not.
Not for 3.
Next is Swarming Cthulhu. It is 1 red and 1. Put 4 1/1 Fire Darkness Resonator tokens into the field. If black was spent, they gain swiftness and precision. If you have a way to buff them up, this card is awesome.
Like Belial.
Belial, looking at you, Kyric's Training Grounds. So bet you're just like, hey, cool, my dudes are big. Force roll them.
I mean, 4 3/3s for 2. That's pretty powerful. And then
And if you have Kyric's Training Ground, they just get bigger because you force roll each one.
That's pretty awesome. Next one is, wait, you, me?
It's you.
Okay. The second boon, Tachyon, Holy Atom. It's 2 red, quick cast. You may copy target chance spell your opponent controls. You may choose new targets for that copy. And then, of course, if you discard this, you get to do the exact same thing with Atom, or Violet Atomic Atom, Automaton. This card's great. This card's
Hey, if
really
you've
good.
played with any kind of misdirection cards before, then you know what this card can do.
And the fact that you can do it with a Violet for free, then yes, do it.
Yeah, this card is actually pretty good with, like, it's super good with Violet because it's just like,
Yeah.
hey, most of the boons are for the older rulers, for the majority of them, just FYI.
Yeah.
But this one's pretty strong for what it does because it's like, hey, cool, I'm gonna copy your spell.
Yeah, for
Thanks.
free. Thank you for that.
Next up is the other card for Violet. Violet, Flame of Providence Distortion. She is 2 red and 1 for an 8/9 with quick cast and first strike. She is a machine. This card also counts as Violet automatic automation, so you can discard stuff to her.
Yep.
Enter, you may discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards. If you discarded 1 or more atoms this way, put 4 1/1 counters on this card. If you discarded 2 or more atoms this way, this card gains swiftness. If you discarded 3 or more, you may draw a card.
This card's good. With Violet, of course.
Yeah, this card gives you a whole nother way to play Violet. So it's, if the format does slow down, which was what I believe it will happen just a little bit, because Violet won't get to just be like, hey, you die on turn 2
Yeah.
or turn 3, or just like, it won't get to play as many of its little drops. This allows you to go late game.
Yeah. Late game, because when you discard your hand with all atoms, you're literally just destroying all their board and getting all the benefits. And then you could possibly play the dragon, like almost immediately, you know?
Yeah, this card's super strong just because it does a lot for you.
Yeah, I would definitely play it for sure. And with that, we'll go into the blue. And the first blue card is a Voice from the Void. It is 1 blue chant, quick cast, remnant, draw a card. With null, you may play this card without paying its mana cost. It's okay.
This card's awesome.
It is awesome.
It's in your graveyard. If you have multiples, you're like, cool, null trigger. In response, null trigger. In response, null trigger. I draw 4 cards.
Yep.
That's free. Free card draw.
I know. I'm just not a blue player, but like I'll pay 1 card to discard this card to draw another
Yeah,
card.
I think that card's amazing. And it teams really well with this card, Electo, the Unstoppable Fury. She has 1 blue, 4/4, Bane. She's a Cthulhu monster, so know that.
Ooh.
Remove 3 Resonators from your graveyard from the game. Put this card from your graveyard into the field. Null, whenever you draw a card, your opponent banishes a non-Magic Stone, non-J ruler entity. If they don't, they discard a card.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah,
that's really good.
With the other card, this card, these two work really well together because you're like, cool, null triggers. I'm gonna draw some cards.
Yeah.
I guess you discard things or sacrifice things.
Because when you put that 1 card into the section to play, you have null. So therefore, you can get rid of something, and then you draw that card, and then you play that, and then
Yeah, it gets disgusting.
It gets.
And she's hard to keep rid of because she can remove resonators to just be played again.
And she has Bane, so good luck.
Yeah.
Have fun swinging with
cool.
that.
Thanks.
Yeah. So yes, play. Cradle of the Biting Frost is 1 blue addition. Enter, draw a card as always. And once it goes to the graveyard from the field, rest target non-Magic Stone entity your opponent controls. It doesn't recover during its controller's next recovery phase. Really good.
Yeah,
It's good.
If you're playing Asmodeus, it's a good little like thing to have. It's just a utility card.
It really is.
Next is Guide of the Center of the Demonic World.
Ooh.
2 blue Cthulhu. The 10/10, you pay 2 more to play this card for each card in your hand. When this card is put into the field from your deck, put target non-Magic Stone, non-Zero entity your opponent controls on the bottom of its owner's deck. Draw a card. On paper, this card is terrible.
When this card is put in the field from your deck.
Yeah, there's another card that can search this up, but you shouldn't play him because this card's bad.
Yeah, it's real bad.
For 2 mana or more, you should be doing other stuff.
And why isn't he just not a Demonic World as well? I don't know.
Yeah, no, the card's not good. Don't play it.
Don't play it. All right, next one is Mermaid of the Despairing Voice. 3 blue and 1 mermaid. The 10/10, null, enter. Put all non-Magic Stone, non-J-Ruler entities your opponent controls with total cost 3 or less on the bottom of their owner's decks in any order. Super good just for that. Then blue, discard this card, return target resonator with total cost 3 or less to its owner's hand. So it's good early game, good late game.
Yeah, like you said, it doesn't have to have null trigger for its enter, but if you have null trigger, that's kind of a blowout.
Yeah.
Like if they have lots of little dudes or lots of enchantments or anything like that, you're just like, oh, all of them go away.
Just go. And almost every dude nowadays, 3 or less is important.
Yeah. Phantasmal Friend. This is the card that goes against the other one. It is 2 blue. You pay 2 more to play this card for each card in your hand. Search your deck for a Cthulhu that costs 3 or less and put it into the field.
That's gross. Don't do that.
Again, this card is not worth it.
No.
Because you should be doing other stuff with your mana instead of paying 2 or more.
Yeah. Even one card, you have to pay 4 for this for 2 draw. Don't.
It's just not worth it. Like, don't use this card.
Yeah, or that combo or anything like that. Prideful Mermaid is 1 blue, Resonator 2/2. This card gains +6/+6 flying barrier as long as your life is 2,000 or less.
This card's just good, right?
Yeah, that's good. It's an AA flyer with barrier.
I mean, 2,000 left or less. Yeah,
I think
take it.
I think there's a Resonator, that ruler that does that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sky Ruler of the Demonic World. He is 2 blue and 1 for 20/20 Cthulhu mans. He has flying. This card gains -4/-4 for each card in your hand. No, you may play this card from your graveyard. This is already better than the other 2 Cthulhu cards we read. And this still isn't even that good.
Nope. And you can get this card with that other card if you care to play Cthulhu's like that.
Yeah.
So why even get the other one?
Yeah, this one, yeah. But even then, this one still gets smaller if you have cards in your hand, so it's not really that good.
Yeah, well, of course you play the Null Roller, but I don't know. I value this card a lot actually. But if you play with that ruler.
Mm-hmm.
Next is Tears of Corruption is 1 blue chant. That's quick cast. Target J Resonator's attack becomes 0 until end of turn. Draw a card. Fallen. As you play this, whatever you get this. Then switch its attack and defense, so therefore it kills it once you do that. But is Valentina still
She's
legal?
still playable, but I don't think she's worth it with this.
To do this? No.
I don't think this card's worth it.
At all.
It's not really that cool. It's definitely not a rare slot cool.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah. Like,
That's so bad.
sometimes you have bad rares. This is one of them.
And man, blue seems to be pretty failing right now.
The 5th boon, Lightning Bolt Bow. It is 1 blue and X. Choose one at random. Draw X cards. Return all non-Magic Stone, non-J Ruler entities your opponent controls with X cost or less to their owner's hand. This card's pretty cool. I don't care which one I'm choosing at random. And if you play this with Olivia, which you probably are, you get to choose.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is pretty sweet. And you can be like, hey, cool, bounce all your stuff to your hand. Thanks.
And I know it would be too powerful if it was quick cast, but everything else is quick cast so far. But yeah, that's super good. Next one is Wall of Terror. It's a 1 blue wall, 0/8. Discard a card. You or target entity gains barrier until end of turn. Null, this card gains +4/+4 barrier and bane. And the fact that you can just discard your hand turn 1, have all the null triggers.
Yeah,
this is good.
This is nice because it enables a null.
Yeah.
And that was like the biggest issue with null last time, is they had no way to just enable it.
Yeah, you had to spend red mana to discard it with a Scarlet.
This card is just cool. Like, it doesn't even have to have a null trigger itself. Just discard a card, you gain barrier.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
Thanks.
But the fact that this becomes a 4/12 that can kill anything.
Yeah.
Solid.
At any time, you can block, and they're like, okay, whatever.
Best part is it can attack too if it have null.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, there's no defender like close, so it doesn't stop it.
That's it for blue. We're gonna hop into green. First up is the Agrade Giant Pig.
Cute.
2 green and 2 for a 12/12. At the end of turn, recover all rulers you control. Pay a green, discard this card, recover a ruler you control.
Yeah, this card so good with the food lady.
Yeah, with Bitey Girl, it's pretty good.
Bitey good. You just turn 2 this thing, you untap her, you get to play another 2-drop.
You can only play 1 spell a turn, so it's not that good.
But still.
It does give you the 2 mana to play all the discard spells to do
exactly.
extra stuff and protect yourself on their turn, which is kind of cool.
This card's good. I'd play it.
See,
yes.
I'm like, that card's okay.
I'm all about that.
Whatever.
All right, Tentative Asmodeus. This art's super cool.
Yeah.
It's a 1 green and 1 demon. It's a 5/7. Enter. You may remove the top 5 cards of your deck in the game. If you do, recover 3 magic stones you control. Green, discard this card your opponent banishes in addition. It's got overall value like an A.
Yeah, this card's mana positive.
B+ A, super good.
Because you only pay 2 and you get 3.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
And it kills in addition, so I think it's really strong. I think it's worth trying for sure.
Yeah.
It's not like the best addition kill because they get to choose, but it's still an addition kill, which is nice. Next is Brad, the Masked Mage. He has 2 green for a 6/6. Enter, put a card with seal from your graveyard into your hand. Pay a green, tap, return target spell to its owner's hand. When this card is put into a graveyard from the field, put it on the bottom of your owner's deck. This card seems pretty good to me because if you get him in play, it's just pay 1 green, counter target spell.
Yeah.
For that turn.
Just
And if you get this against Carlina, they get sad.
Yeah.
Oh, you played a spell. That should be shame if I put it in your hand.
Put it back. Thanks.
Neat. Guess you're done for the turn.
Yeah, my turn. Thanks.
Dude's silly against Carlina because you're just like, hey, cool. No.
You have to play mind games, but then if you have two Brads,
Yeah.
you just quit. You scoop because you literally can't do anything by that point.
If they have two Brads against Carlina, then you're just like, well, I lose.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna just say no the whole game.
Hopefully you flip Carlina and your J roller, and then you get a Astral, and then Satan comes into play, and then Brad can suck it. But
that's a whole lot to deal with, Brad.
So many levels.
You're winning if that happens. Just FYI.
You're bradding it up.
Yeah.
All right, Carlina Storm, 3 green and a 1 chant. Quick cast, cancel target spell, draw a card. Seems very expensive, but Fallen. Instead, remove all spells and abilities your opponent controls from the game. Draw a card for each spell or ability removed this way. I don't know.
Again, it's a terrible rare.
Yep.
Like, you're paying... Like, I understand Carlina gets to make mana, but 4 mana for a counterspell that you kind of get extra value for is not so good.
Yeah. Because when are you going to really Fallen on their turn to pay this to draw?
Also, when is everybody going to have more than 1 spell or ability on the stack?
Yeah, this isn't Storm. There's no Storm
There's
here.
No, you're playing Celesta, then that happened, then this matters, but otherwise you're not. So it's just not.
So
it's not good. It's just bad rare.
Bad.
Bad rare is bad.
Yep.
Cradle of Silent Earth. It is 1 green addition. Enter, draw a card. When this card is put in the graveyard from the field, produce 1 will of any attribute.
It's cute.
It's a neat cradle. It can help you do some shenanigans if you're playing things that have like pay abilities or whatever. But otherwise, it's kind of the cradles. It's kind of the worst.
Exactly. So I would not do it. Pointy Hat Camouflage. It's 2 green. Enchant. Quick cast. Prevent all damage that would be dealt by up to 2 target entities this turn. Draw a card. No.
Yeah, this card's not good either.
Don't do it. Don't
play it. We know that there's a white 1-drop that does this already, and it prevents all damage.
Yeah.
By resonators, so it just seems better.
They should have made this a treasure, and then we can talk. Because it's a Pointy Hat Camouflage. Like, how's that not a treasure?
It's not even that good. Even if it was a treasure, it's still not good.
I know you would just kill him with the lightning rod, whatever.
Prideful Mage, 1 green for a 4/4.
We're terrible people.
Crazy guy.
Yep, crazy.
He's got quick cast. Enter if your life is 2,000 or less. Cancel target spell unless its controller pays 1. This card's insanely good if you're playing Belial.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this is tap. Your stuff costs 1 more.
Yep.
Thanks.
That's it. And it's a 4/4. So
yeah, playing Belial, play this. If you're not, don't do it.
And the next one, of course, is Starving Dragon. It's 2 green and 3. It has flying. 15/15. Enter, draw a card. When this card is put in the graveyard from the field, put a non-chant card from the total cost 4 or less from your hand into the field. It's okay, but not worth. After comparing whatever we've been doing, I would say it's like the bottom of like C.
Yeah, but quality. It is kind of funny because it has like a trail that you can go down on another card. You go from the 6-drop that does the same ability to this to the little pig because the little pig's in the picture.
Aw, that's adorable.
It's kind of awesome, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Like you said, the card's really not that good.
Nope. Limited. Okay.
Yeah. Table Manners, 2 green and 1. Destroy a J Resonator that has or shares the highest cost from all J Resonators your opponent controls. You gain life equal to its total attack and defense. Then you draw cards equal to its total. Pay green, discard this card. Target J Resonator you control and target J Resonator your opponent control deals damage to each other equal to their attack. This card's insanely good if you're playing green.
Yes.
Like, regardless of what you're doing, you should be playing this card.
This normal here is better than most rares.
Yeah.
In this set. This card's very good.
You don't have to play Carlina for this card to be good, but in Carlina it's just better because you get to play it for 1 mana.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't have quick cast, but it doesn't matter because the green discard does instant speed, so there's so many combinations you can do with this card. It's so good.
Even if it doesn't, it's just cool. Like, hey, cool, kill your big dude. I draw cards and gain life.
Yeah, for 3.
Awesome.
Don't even care. Give me that. The next one is the third boon, Persona Magic Mask. It is 1 green, quick cast, cancel target spell with total cost 3 or more. Seal 10, then recover all mage stone or magic stones you control. This is a great sideboard for Carlina.
And it's super good for Brad. But yeah.
Yeah.
It is a really good sideboard card for sure.
It really is.
Next up, we're going to hop into Darkness. The first one is Asmodeus' Demon. It is 1 black for 2/2. Enter, remove the top 2 cards of your deck from the game. Put 2 1 counters on this card for each resonator. Remove this way. Remove a 1 counter from this card. Your opponent loses 1 life and you gain 100 life. That part is awesome because if you've seen cards like that, there's ways to put counters on this and they just lose.
Yeah, you just lose. You just drain them to death.
Yeah, anything that puts extra counters on this just gets to make this card busted.
Yeah, this card's super good.
Yeah.
All right, Asmodeus Enchantment. It's a 1 darkness and 1 chant. Put target resonator from the opponent's graveyard into the field under your control. This card was awaken. The chosen target gains swiftness until in a turn. Awakening is rest of recovered J ruler you control. This card is amazing. It's top tier, best card ever.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth its super rare spot.
Yeah, for sure.
For the sole reason that it's 2 mana, I get your dude and I don't lose it.
That's it. It doesn't sacrifice until in a turn. You don't banish it. It's just yours.
Yeah, most cards like this are not good because they're usually like, hey, that dude dies at the end of turn or whatever.
Yeah.
But this you get to keep it. So if you're like turn 1 against Violet, discard and you hit their dragon, you're like, cool, give me your dragon. Tap my ruler against haste. Now I get to one-shot you with your own dude.
Yeah, enjoy.
How do you like that?
You enjoy?
Card's nuts good. It's 2 mana, get a dude. I don't care. And right now everybody's gonna be like playing discard and everybody's playing Carlina, so they have big dudes. You're like, cool, give me a big dude.
Yeah. Like, your opponent in a tournament's not going to play crappy cards, okay? So you're going to take their deck and win.
You're going to make use out of it, yeah.
Exactly. The next one is Esteema's Wrath. It's a 3 darkness chant. Quick cast. You may search your deck for a darkness card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. If the fallen is there, produce 3 wheels of any combination of red and black. I don't think this is really that good.
It's a 3 mana tutor. Like,
yeah.
It's not good.
No.
It costs so much to tutor.
Yeah. And I guess if you do it, you're fallen, but you don't want to do it turn 3. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like this card is worth it.
No.
If somebody breaks this card and does something cool with it, let us know, but I don't think this card's good.
No, not at all.
I think we're both in agreement this card is bad.
Maybe if you do Wolfgang with Cthulhu's, this would be good, but then you can't do the fallen trigger.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't, he doesn't have one, so it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Next is the Banquet Demon. He is 2 black and 10 for a 0/0. You may pay 1 less to play this card for each card in your removed area. This card gains +2/+2 for each resonator in your removed area. Enter. This deals 200 damage to target player or J resonator for each addition in your removed area. 7. Return this card to its owner's hand. You may pay 1 less to play this for each chant in your removed area. So this card is for Asmodeus alone and him only, and this card is still bad.
Very bad.
Like,
don't.
Anything that relies on other cards is never really good because unless it's like relies on 1 card.
Yeah.
Or 2 cards. Not 16.
Yeah.
I don't know. This card doesn't feel good because it relies on so much.
And he doesn't have flying. He's a demon with wings, just chilling. Maybe he's too drunk. No, this card is bad. Don't play it.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yay, bad rares.
Bad rares. All right. Belial's Favor is 1 darkness quick cast. As an additional cost to play this card, banish a resonator token. Draw 2 cards. I think if you build around all the tokens, then yes, this card's good.
Kind of. It's okay.
Yeah.
It says banish a resonator token, which is the only part that's kind of rough.
Yeah.
But it's decent. I mean, you're probably making enough with Belial that it doesn't matter to lose 1, but in the same regard, like, you could do more with that 1 mana.
Yeah, you can. You can kill their creature with 1 mana instead of doing this.
Yeah, I don't think this card's that worth it.
Yeah, build around for sure, but that's it.
Yeah. Black Rain, it is 1 black and 1 for a chant. As additional cost to play this card, discard X cards. Your opponent banishes X resonators.
In the null deck, this can be good, but no.
But yeah, null deck only, and even then it still costs 2 mana as a normal spell.
Yeah, not good.
I don't feel like it's worth it.
No, not at all.
It doesn't do enough.
Especially if you want to discard your hand, they only have 1 or 2 dudes, you're like, this is kind of a waste. So Castle of Asmodeus, it's a 2 Darkness Edition. J resonators you control get +2/+2. When this card in your deck is removed from the game, you may put it, hold on. When this card of your deck is removed from the game by an ability of ruler you control, you may put it into the field. So if you just need to trigger a trigger, do it.
Yeah, if you remove this from Asmodeus, then you get it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do a lot for you. Like in terms of the castles, it's not nearly as strong as the others.
Yeah, no, not at all.
And it's cool that your dudes get +2/+2, but I feel like it should do more, honestly.
Agreed.
Like yeah, it's free, but that's not really that big of a plus. Like
and see, other cards do -4 or +4 to this. This should be like +2/+2, -2/-2 to your opponents. Make it more of a little balancing act and cuteness.
or give it something else, or just I don't know,
Yeah,
something. It just doesn't seem like it's strong enough.
Yeah, not at all for sure.
Next is the Corpse Eater Dragon. He is 2 black and 2 for a 10/10 flyer. Enters, your opponent discards 2 cards. When this card is put into a graveyard from the field, you may remove a Resonator from your graveyard from the game. If you do, return this card to its owner's hand. Pay a black, discard this card. Your opponent discards a card. Play this ability only during your turn.
Super good.
I like this little dragon. He's pretty good for a rare.
Yeah.
He's not like game changing. Like he can be because he enters and discards 2.
Yeah.
Your Carlina likes this card a lot.
Extremely. Play it turn 2.
You're like, cool, discard 2 cards, which normal cards that discard 2 are going to happen on turn 2. This just comes with a body.
A 10/10 flying body.
Yeah.
For sure. Next one is Cradle of Crippling Despair. That's what I lived in when I was a baby. It's a 1 darkness edition. Enter, draw a card, of course. And then when it's put in the graveyard from the field, your opponent discards a card. It's okay.
Yeah, I like this cradle. I think it's probably one of the better cradles because it's with Asmodeus, it's instant speed.
Yeah.
So you're like, cool, and after you draw, discard it.
Yep, thanks.
Neat. Next is Fallen Angel of Black Tears. It is 3 black and 2 for a 12/12 flyer. Enter, J resonates your opponent control, get -X/-X, where X is the attack of this card. Pay a black, discard this card, target J resonator gets -4/-4 until the end of turn, draw a card. Carlina loves this card.
Yeah, this is all written on it.
Yeah, because you get to board wipe, which you're playing 1 spell a turn, so you need to board wipe, and Carlina gets a big dude.
Yeah, 12/12 flyer.
For like 2 mana.
Do it.
It's good.
Yeah, all these other cards that seem like it would work for other people, just the Carlina makes it work better.
Yeah.
Fallen Angel of Dusk. It's a 2 darkness, 6/6 flyer. So that's all it is, and it has a fallen trigger of whenever this card attacks, your opponent discards a card and banishes a resonator. It's incidental meh, is what it's called.
So when this first got spoiled, before anybody knew what Fallen was, we were like, this card's amazing.
Yeah, super old.
Like, I was like,
awesome.
this card's stupid good.
Yeah.
I'll attack and make you discard a card every time. But then we found out Fallen is you pretty much get it once a game.
Yeah, exactly.
This card's not nearly as powerful.
I feel like they should have like a timestamp. Like, if whatever's on the field triggers when the God's Art is there, then it gets a stamp for the rest of the game. But
that'd be cool, but it may
cool.
be a little broken.
Yeah.
But this card's okay. It's nothing like major.
Yeah, exactly.
Next is the Graveyard Keeper of the Demonic World. He is 1 black for a 1/5 Bane. When 1 or more counters are put on this card, you gain life equal to its defense. Put a 4/4 zombie token into play. I like this card a lot. It's not like super broken, but it can give you a lot of power quickly.
I feel like if you do this with 0, you can get really
Yeah.
crazy.
Any of the other cards that put counters on things really quickly, this card gets out of hand.
Yeah. Also, demon wings, no fly. They hate demons in this game.
Yeah.
Invisible Terror. It's a 2 darkness and 1 Cthulhu. It's a 7/7 null. At the end of turn, this card in your graveyard put in the field rested. Blah.
But of all the creature renewal cards, it's probably the best one so far, minus Electo.
Yeah.
Because
Sad.
it comes into play free though.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
But rested.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. It can be attacked and dead again.
It does say what it would. It says at the end of turn, so it can be their turn too.
Oh, that's true.
So it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Marching of the Dead. It is 1 black and 1 for a quick cast. Put X/4/4 darkness zombies into play, where X is the number of resonators in your graveyard. Fallen, make them angels.
That can be good.
Yeah, this could be really strong. It could also not.
Yeah. And it's quick cast. That's what I think makes it stronger.
If you're playing Belial, this card's awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Just straight up.
it's still good if you're not playing Belial, but Belial just makes it better.
And I would consider this a bomb in limited.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, you're going to be trading left and right.
You're putting a whole bunch of dudes in your graveyard, so you just get to be like, I can fill out a lot of free dudes.
Yeah.
Neat.
So that's, yeah. It's okay if you Belial, but besides that, meh. Selective Decapitation. It's a 1 black edition. Whenever a Resonator you control is put in the graveyard from the field, 4C1, banish 2 Resonators, draw a card.
It's cool.
It's cool, but I think this is like too little too late
Yeah.
kind of edition. And a slower, like, this could have been good like 3-4 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, in a slower format, this card's really strong.
Yeah.
It's neat.
This would go well with the altar deck.
No, we're not. No, get it. No, get
Yes,
out of here with that.
So you can set another.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
sacrifice.
get out of here with that.
Yeah.
Next up is the 4th boon, Last Regrets Black Tears. It is 1 black, choose 1, destroy target Darkness J ruler. Players cannot chase to this card. Apply the following abilities of target Resonator you control until the end of turn.
Cute. They like to do the 1 darkness trigger whatever darkness does.
It's neat. I think
Yeah.
it's cool. There's other cards I think that are a little better than this, but it could be useful.
It's a sideboard card for sure because destroy target darkness J ruler. Like, come on.
Yeah. Sideboard, it's pretty good for Dante. I'll give you that. 'Cause
Yeah.
His little dude.
And you got to be worried. Of course, they don't have to show Satan at the beginning, like immediately. But if you do this and they're like, "Oh my God, Satan, what are you gonna do?" Thanks. Yeah, that's iffy. Very iffy. All right, was it Trisophony? Sorry, I can barely read it with that. Avenging Fury. It's a 2 darkness Cthulhu 0/0. It has Pierce. As this card enters the field, choose a number of equal to 3,000 or less. That is a multiple of 100. The attack and defense of this card becomes a chosen number. Enter. This card deals damage to you equal to its attack. Well, simple. You just do the fallen trigger of who makes it where you can't lose the game or take damage.
Yeah, for Belial,
Yeah, you draw a card and then you do this and it's 3,000 done.
Yeah, if you have a way to negate this dude's ability,
Yeah.
this card's insane.
Yeah.
Or you can, the other way that I saw that's really funny is if you have 3 mana, you just play this, take your damage, and then you play white and Lumi it all back.
Yeah. That's good too.
If you have a way to get around the enter trigger, this card gets to be a 2 mana 30/30.
Or even the darkness 1 darkness. You pay 1 dark and enter.
And that's for your opponents.
For your
only.
opponents.
If they do it to you, neat. But
Yeah. I mean, why would they?
yeah, I mean that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would play.
Yeah.
I would jink the hell out of that card.
Yeah, no, don't worry. We're gonna play with
We're
that
gonna
card
do
in the
it.
channel because the card's janky and I love it.
Yep.
Next up is Virgilius, the Rebel Against Satan. This card is a card for Dante and it's insanely good.
Yep.
3 black for a 10/10 swiftness. You may make a J rule you control astral rather than pay this card's cost. Pay black, choose 1. This card deals 400 damage to target player or J Resonator. Or this card does 400 damage to your opponent and each J Resonator your opponent controls. Choose this option only if this card is attacking.
Oh no.
And Fallen, it gains Drain and Bane. We've always had 3-drop Drain, Bane, Swiftnesses, and they've been pretty strong every time. Because Lyneth was really good back in the day, and they did another one before that.
Yeah.
But this one is insanely good. Black is just literally pay a black, deal 4.
Yeah.
It's open-ended. There's no once per turn clause. It's just, I can
just
do
do
this
it, whatever.
however many times I need to. And if I have Fallen triggered,
Yeah.
then I get to gain Bane.
Yeah. So you're draining the whole time of demolishing your opponent and killing all the dudes instantly.
Yeah, this card is so good.
Yeah. And you'll definitely see it with us because this card is amazing.
Yeah, and it's the whole reason that Dante exists because he goes and gets this dude.
Yeah.
And then you can just play this guy for free off of Dante because Dante did his job.
Which is fine because you have another ruler anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
This guy's so good. If you're playing Dante, you're playing this. Honestly, if you're playing any of the rulers of this set, you should probably be playing that dude because he's darkness and he's good.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and the first up in the multicolor, of course, is Acheron, River of the Dead. It is a blue-black edition. It's a demonic world. Whenever a Resonator your opponent controls attacks, destroy it unless the opponent pays X, where X is the number of demonic worlds with your different names you control. This card's insanely powerful.
Like,
just use
this
it.
makes the demonic world deck so good.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, cool, get this turn 2. Like, it takes place of all your other turn 2 ones unless you're getting planes of the whatever that untaps your lands and you can play this.
Yeah, exactly. And
this card's nuts. It
yeah.
taxes your opponent to have to attack. If they don't answer this, they don't get to. Like,
And there's no really such things as ramp cards nowadays, at all. So therefore, you're taxing your opponent to either play something or swing. And then even if they swing, you can kill it with another spell. And that's a waste of time, like everything. This card is super good. Use it A+.
It's definitely what the Demonic World deck needed to get a buff, which is really, really good.
Yay, Wolfgang. Yeah, Wolfgang. This slows it down for Wolfgang to win.
Yeah. Next, Angel of the False Glory. Ooh. It is a white and a black for a 10/10 flyer. Enter. If this card is not awakened, you lose the game.
Oh, okay.
Enter. Destroy up to 1 target addition, 1 target resonator, and 1 target regalia. Put a 4/4 light angel resonator token into field for each one destroyed. Awakening. Rest 2. Recover J rulers you control. It's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
It's too dangerous.
It is a 10/10 flyer
for 2 mana. But you have to rest both recovered resonator rulers to get the awakening.
Yeah. So hopefully you have Cthulhu.
And it has to be played from your hand to enter.
Yeah.
Card's not good. Like, I just don't like it.
I mean, there are a lot of powerful 2-drops that can take on a 10/10. So.
There's also right now a card that costs 1 white that blinks a dude. Just any dude.
Yeah.
So if they're playing that card by any chance, then you just lose.
Yeah.
Blink it.
Simple as that. Thanks. Angel of the False Life. It's a darkness and white and 2 angel, 10/10 flying. You may pay 2 less to play this card if your life is 2,000 or less, which can get there. Fallen, enter. Your opponent loses 1,000, you gain 1,000. This card is amazing.
Yeah, this card's real good.
Yeah. Is it Belial? I don't know the rulers yet, but Belial just turn to play this.
Is it Belial or Carlina? Because Carlina can play it for 2 mana still.
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah, either one's really, really good for it.
I would go for it. Oh.
Astima Cerberus. It is a red, black, and X, 7/7. This card would deal damage to a J resonator. It deals 3 times that much instead. Enter. This card deals X hundred damage to each J resonator your opponent controls. Repeat this process X -1 times. So if X is 2, this card deals 12 to your board.
Yep.
Your opponent's board, which is really cool. Like, this card is kind of a nightmare for people that have to worry about that, but you're just like, cool, whatever. Deal damage.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. You just do triple.
And it's a creature that does, a board wipe.
Damage. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, super good. All right, Steama's Fury. All right, baby girl, what do? Darkness and red. Your opponent discards 2 cards. I like it. It's a chant. But Fallen, you may put all resonator discarded this way in the field under your control. They gain swiftness until end of turn. Until end of turn, the controller removes them from the game. I mean, I would jank this card out for sure. This is I like this a lot.
So yeah, this is hand control, which is really cool, but it's also like spot hand control.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to realize that if you've done Fallen on this, then they don't want to discard a dude. So then their spells in their hand, they may not want to discard, so they may still give you a dude.
It's a nice mind trick, and that's why I like it.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you want to do? Show me what you have.
It's cool. It's not like the best card in the world, but it's neat.
Or you do this late game to mess with them and know what they have in their hand, and then you just I want those big creatures. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Beatrice's Curse. It is a black and a blue for a chant. Your opponent banishes a resonator. If this card was played from a graveyard, draw a card. Null Remnant. Meh. Card's okay. Limited, it's cool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not.
The Null's super hard to get off, and I'm not impressed with it at all. Of these cards that you have to do so much to have one little tiny special thing when all you have to do is other cards is play them. But okay, Beatrice Imagination. It's darkness and blue. You may play cards from your graveyards this turn. If a card would be put in your graveyard from anywhere this turn, remove it instead. And then Null produce a blue and a black. So technically it's free from all the stuff you can play in your graveyard that barely does anything. That's it. That's my thought.
I think that card's really good as a 1 or 2 of.
Yeah.
Just because it gives you free stuff. I did see a really funny combo with Last Secret Sword in that card, because if you have 4 of them, then you just win.
Yeah.
Because you're Cold Beatrice's Imagination. If I have 4 in my graveyard, die.
Just die, yeah. I sacrifice everything.
I'll keep this one thing and die. But other than that, it's
so for SR.
Belial's Rule. It is a black, white, and 2. You may pay 2 less to play this card if your life is 2,000 or less. Remove all non-token resonators from the game. Remove this card from the game as it resolves. This card gains players cannot chase God's Art abilities you control as long as it's in your removed area. This card's good for Belial.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 mana, remove all dudes from the game that are not
It's
tokens.
a very early board wipe.
Yeah, you get to keep all your stuff as Belial and remove the board.
Yeah. So
good.
super good. See, and that's a very easy cost to get rid of a whole board, you know? Carlina's Hunting is 2 green, 2 darkness, chant. Destroy all J Resonators other than J Rulers you control. That you get to have yours. Recover a J Ruler you control if this card was awakened. Destroy all additions. Awakening. Rest to recover J Ruler you control. Well, it pays for itself. You may play this card as though it had quick cast if you rest to recover J Ruler you control as an additional cost to play this card. So stupid. It just pays for itself the whole time.
Well, you only get to keep your J Rulers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so if you're overwhelmed, but you can still like swing with one, tap the other one to do this, untap. One of them, swing again, you know. It's ridiculous. It's good. I would use it immediately.
Yeah, this card does seem pretty strong.
It's super strong.
Castle of Astema. It is a red-black addition. Enter, your opponent banishes a Resonator. At the end of turn, you may remove this card from the game. Fallen, you may play this card from the removed area without paying its cost. Neat.
I like it, but that Fallen trigger is kind of meh.
Yeah, if you have a way to do multiple God's Arts, maybe. But
Yeah.
like, you only get so many casts out of this.
Exactly. And then all the other Fallen triggers are way stronger that you need for your rares and stuff. So, man.
Yeah, it's cool, but I don't know.
I would put it in sideboard if they do a lot of barrier dudes. You're just like, get rid of it. Castle of Beatrice. It's a darkness and blue edition. Cards not named Castle of Beatrice in your graveyard cannot be a target of spells or abilities and cannot be removed from the game by effects as long as this card is in your graveyard. Blue and black, put a Resonator from your graveyard in your hand. Play this ability only if this card is in your graveyard. This card's really good if you can get it there immediately.
Yeah. This is like one of those cards that only is good in the graveyard, which is actually kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
I like the idea of that. And maybe this is why that red card that mills yourself is good. But
Yeah. Or even the blue wall when you want to get mill or null, you just discard all this. They can't mess with your Resonators, and then every turn you're like...
And you get one back.
Yeah.
Like, you just pay a black and a blue. The card that's funny with this is in, like, if you're playing, like, limited in this, is all the cards that discard themselves, you just get them back.
Yeah. How pulls that?
Castle of Belial. It is a white-black. If damage would be dealt to you, prevent 400 of it. Tap, put a 4/4 angel into play.
What?
This castle is super good.
That is ridiculous.
Limited, this is a bomb.
You win.
Yeah, you literally win the
just
game
win.
if you have this in limited. Because
Yeah.
you're like, cool, tap, make a dude. Tap, make a dude.
Tap a dude. Make
And
it
then your
400.
dudes, if they have one too, your dudes don't deal damage. And it's
Yeah. If your damage would be dealt to you, prevent 400 it. Cool. I'm winning that race.
like, this card's so good in limited and constructed. So if you're playing Belial, you should probably be playing this
I
because
would.
it's super good.
Whatever super rare you can ever get in a pack, I'm picking this turn 1. Like, this is the winner. Like, that's what I would do. Pack 1, pick 1 every time. God, it's so good. Castle of Carlina, it's black, green, and of course it costs 2 extra because it evens out. Enter, search your deck for a card, cost 5 or more, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. Entities you control cannot be banished by spells or abilities your opponent controls. Yes. Spells you controls cannot be canceled by spells or abilities your opponent controls. And entities you control, total cost 4 or more, gain barrier. This should be a rare, at least.
It's super strong.
Yeah, it's
like,
extremely strong.
If this gets in play, I don't know how you deal with some of Carlina's stuff. I really don't.
Yeah.
Like, some of it's just going to be super difficult. But
The fact that if you have a barrier big dude and they can't make you sack it. That's just how it is. You know?
like, I don't like this card in terms of fighting against it, but I understand why they had to have it because Carlina would be like dead in the
Destroyed.
water if they
Yeah.
didn't have something like this. But it is what it is. Make sure you have addition hate. Really all you gotta do.
Yeah. This is super great sideboard, and you need sideboard
And
against
it's
this.
it can't be targeted addition hate. It has to be like big like
A
multiple.
wipe, yeah.
Yeah,
for
because
sure.
you can't target this because it's its own thing that costs 4.
Yeah. This thing is because it says entities.
Yeah.
Super awesome.
Next is the Demon of Pride and Greed. He is a 2 green, 1 black, and 3 for a 16/16. When this card is put into the graveyard from the field, you may put a non-enchant card with total cost 5 or less from your hand into the field. When this card is discarded by spell or ability your opponent controls, put it into the graveyard. Put it from the graveyard into the field.
Yep.
So remember how that little like pig dragon this thing? This is the dude that does that. Because he's actually eating the dragon.
Yeah,
that's kind of funny.
That's awesome.
But otherwise, this card's kind of, it's weird. It could be useful in Carlina, but it's kind of meh.
Yeah. I would use it sideboard if you fight against a heavy discard. Because most of them is you get to decide. We've noticed you don't actually get to choose out of their hand.
Yeah.
And the fact that he is a demon bigger than that dragon has flying and he does not.
Yeah, and if they make you discard this and you're like, cool, I get a free 16/16, bet.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. All right, Fallen Angel of the Mark. It's a darkness and white flying 2/2, enter draw a card. Pay 3, so white, black, 1. Destroy target resonator. Put a 4/4 light darkness fallen angel token on the flying onto the field. This card is going to be a staple in black-white decks forever, I think.
It could.
It could.
It's just, it costs a lot, I think, over time. Like,
Right.
I mean, it does kill a dude for sure, but...
I mean, almost if you do this in Carlina, then you have a kill spell constantly, all the time.
Yeah, like with Carlina, it's super strong because
Yeah.
you get to have, like, free kill spells, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's other cards that do the same. That's, like, just a little better.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
I personally think I would use it immediately, just because you pay 3 kill thing.
It is a really good thing to kill something to make a dude.
Yeah.
Faria, Igniter of the Holy Fire. It is 2 white and 2 red for a 12/12 swiftness. Search your deck for any number of cards named the first boon. Reveal them and put them in your hand. Each turn you may play the first card named first boon for free.
Nice.
Prevent the first damage that will be dealt by this card each turn. You gain that much life.
Now, did they errata this yet?
No.
Do you know? So awkward.
Yeah, this card is real weird. If you have a way to make this fight, this card's awesome.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're just gaining life.
Now, I can't remember the first boon. I think that's just like target gets 1,000. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, you need to have this fight something and then you swing in for 12.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gaining 12. I guess every turn you're gaining 12.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of help because you just get to gain free life.
Yeah.
So it could be useful.
It's okay, but costs 4. There's no reduction cost either. So that's...
It's a hero.
It's a hero,
So
yeah.
Excalibur gets to play it for free.
So fun. All right, Garon. It's a 2 green, 2 black, and 1 beast. It's a 15/15 with swiftness, precision, flying. Your opponent cannot play spells with total cost 1 or less, so it destroys most of everything that we've read. 1 green, remove this card from your hand from the game. Cancel target spell with total cost 1 or less. Play a black to remove it from game. Destroy target resonator with total cost 1 or less. This guy's perfect and beautiful.
Yeah, this dude's super good.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what he's doing. He's a threat in the first few turns. He's a threat in the end game.
Yeah.
Either way.
And with Carlina, you want to play at turn 3 as quickly as possible. Even turn 1, we've discussed. And just like, you can't play your 1-drop spells at all.
Yeah, but even
ever.
then, you're just like, cool, pay 1, remove it, kill it, or counter it.
Yeah, counter that spell. Thanks. Just say anything.
Sweet. Next is Imaginary Dragon. It is a black and a blue for a 6/6. Discard a card. This card gets +4/+4. Null. This card gets flying, and when it deals damage to an opponent, they discard a card. It's a really cool way to make null triggers.
Yeah.
But the wall is still better. But it's still good.
Yeah.
Limited, this card's a bomb. Limited, you're just like, cool, drop my hand, die.
Yeah. Your opponent, they discard a card. Yeah, that's pretty good. Because first turn, you'd be like, take a bunch of damage, discard a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, Inferno. It's a darkness and red enchant. Choose one. Your opponent banishes a non-magic stone, non-J-ruler entity until they control the same number of non-magic stone, non-J-ruler entities as you. Your opponent discards cards until they have the same number of cards in their hands as you. Wow, okay. Your opponent loses life until they have the same amount of life as you. Fallen. This card gains quick cast in all zones. If the controller ruler name is Estima, you may choose up to 3 instead.
This card's real good with Estima, because I mean, that's what it's for. And
Yeah,
she
yeah.
literally says, go search this card up as her God's art.
Yeah.
So the turn you need to go get this, you can God's Art and you get Fallen Trigger, so you get to make them go. You choose all 3.
Do all this.
And it's literally a balance of how things work. And if you know how balance worked in Magic, if you played that, then you know that this card can be really strong.
Yeah, super. Especially if you play this with Null, and you just discard your hand, play this. Do God's Art, play this. You have no hand either.
If you play this with Beatrice, it's really funny because if you have the mana, you're just like, cool, Judgment, Beatrice, bounce 2 things to your hand, discard my hand, you discard everything.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Great.
Or Belial, I'm at 2,000, you're at 2,000. Cool.
Yeah, so it's got a lot of useful.
Oh, yeah.
Next up is Megara, the Jealous Fury. It is a red and a black Cthulhu for 7/7 with flying. If this card is played from your hand, you may remove it from the game instead. Or as it resolves, then it gains quick cast, and you may play this card without paying its cost as long as it's in your removed area. Enter, your opponent banishes Resonator. If they don't, they discard a card. This is instant cast discard, which is kind of cool, but
yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird card. It could be useful. It just depends on how it gets played.
So does the enter trigger resolves and then it goes into no? Okay.
No.
Otherwise, you can just keep.
No, because it's as it resolves. Yeah.
That's.
It's cool.
It's okay.
I don't know what it's gonna do. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Exactly. Olivia, Sky Splitting Thunderbolt. It's a blue, white, and 1 mermaid. 7/8 quick cast. Enter. Choose 1 at random. Rest all other entities. Produce 4 wills in any combination of attributes. Spin this only to play cards with X in their cost. Return the card to its owner's hand. I don't know.
You're really going to want to choose the rest all entities, which is what you really want.
Yeah.
But it's cool for her boon that goes and draws you X cards or bounces things.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's worth it. Like, I don't know. I want this card to be good. I think it is, but I'm not 100%.
I think it's just too expensive for what it does for everything else we've talked about. That's how I've been feeling about most of these blue cards, you know? It's like we're already doing so much for 2.
Yeah. The first boon, Excalibur Cassius the Sword. So it's the card you go get with Faria. Red and a white, quick cast, choose 1. Remove up to 3 cards from the top of your deck from the game. They gain, you may play this card as long as it's removed.
Pretty good.
And as long as it's in your removed area. Produce 4 will in any combination of any attribute. Spend this will only to play heroes. So with Excalibur, this card's really strong. Otherwise, it's okay.
Yeah.
In limited, this card's super cool because you're like pay 2. Like I think this card's actually good otherwise too because it's literally pay 2, draw 3.
Yeah. And then it's quick cast, so you do it at the end of the turn just in case you have more responses.
Yeah. However, you do have to watch out because if your opponent's playing Dante and they use their God's Art, then you just lose those 3 cards.
Yeah.
Because those 3 cards gain, they can be played, and then they lose those abilities from Dante. But
cute.
It is what it is.
All right. Exactly. Meh. All right. The gate in the center of the demon world is 2 red and a black demonic world. At the beginning of each player's main phase, that player discards a card at random. I kind of like it.
This card could be really good in Demonic World deck as a one-of
because
it gives that randomness that you may get a card they really need.
Yep.
But just know it does hurt you too.
Yeah. It's every turn, every main phase that happens.
It's cool. I don't know how good it is, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
The Mimicking Beast. It is a green and a black for a 1/1 Pierce. Enter. Remove a Resonator in your graveyard from the game. Put X1 counters on target. On this card where X is the attack of the Resonator, move this way. Pay green and a black, discard this card, and remove a Resonator in your graveyard from the game. Put X1 counters on this card where X is the attack of the Resonator, remove this way. That doesn't really work because you can't do that with this. So they've already stated that this is a mess up on their part on printing.
Yep.
The bottom part is supposed to say on target card, not this card, because you're discarding him and removing him to get.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
There's something missing there.
Yeah. So they are changing it to target card, and it's just know that that's a thing.
Yeah.
And that makes this card really pretty strong, because you're like, hey, cool, dude, like that dude gets big.
That dude gets super big. It's pretty awesome. The next one is 6 Boon Requiem Jewel. It's a black and a white. They have a lot of Demonic Worlds here. Demonic World Edition. This has Eternal. This card cannot be banished. This card cannot be removed from the game. Your opponent pays X more to play God's Arts, where X is the number of Demonic Worlds with different names you control. And it taps for a white or black.
Yeah, this is probably, if not the best Demonic World that came out, the second best.
Yeah, the second best. Because the other one's for them to sack a dude or they pay
I mean,
X.
Acheron's pretty strong, but this one's super good because it allows Wolfgang to do things on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Which is what he needed.
And with so many God's Art now, this is definitely a good sideboard.
Yeah, and against Fallen, you're just like, cool.
Like, pay
Get
more.
out of here.
Yeah, turn 2, pay more. Pay 2, please.
Next up is Wolfgang, Prince of Amadeus. He is a white and a blue for a 7/7, barrier white, barrier black. Once per turn, you may play an addition from your graveyard. So he's really cool for Demonic Worlds because he helps you get them back and do extra shenanigans.
Even the color's a little messed up, but you know, we'll see.
It's a weird color for him, but it is what it is. It's neat.
Yep.
Next up, we're going to go into the stones. The first stone we have is Amadeus the Holy Crystal. Produce a white. Tap, produce one wheel of any attribute. Play this ability only if your opponent controls 2 or more J rulers, which more often than not, I think you're going to have this happen.
Yeah, for a while.
It just depends on what happens. If Violet is still viable. The only 3 rulers I think that are single that I think can do something right now is Violet, Olivia,
and maybe Wolfgang?
And Wolfgang, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe if there's some others, but those are the 3 that I think are super viable. Maybe Excalibur will be there, but...
Can you sideboard stones?
Yeah, you can. So you could sideboard this and make sure.
I mean, just to be able to tap with no extra cost, you know, super good.
But this, with Magic Stone of the 6 stages, you have like perfect mana on turn 1. Like always.
Pretty awesome. The next one is Ethiopia Bloodstone. Tap to boost the darkness, tap to banish this card until end of game. You may play all God Art abilities of Fallen Angel rulers you control. You played of this game an additional time. Pretty cute. We'll see how good this can be.
Yeah, it could be pretty sweet. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll muck it up.
Imaginary Satan, Magic Crystal. It is tap, produce a black. Produce one wheel of any attribute. Play this ability only if you control Astro Ruler. It's neat if you have an Astro Ruler.
Yep. I mean, if you play that one, that gets...
If you're playing Dante, this is cool. If you're not,
Dante
it's a little harder, but it's what it is.
But Imaginary Satan, it's just a perfect, it's a nice little name for it. All right, with that is it. I guess to go through all the things, I think you said black-green. She's really good. She's the winner.
I think Carlina is probably going to be like the strongest ruler, quote unquote.
Yeah. But
I don't know. She has the best, like, the stuff, and she gets to make 2 free mana, and that's what makes her so strong.
Yeah.
Belial's a close second.
Extremely close second.
I think Astema's like third-ish.
Like, it didn't seem like anything ever worked around her, but she's just there powerful, I guess. Like, I don't know. You just put good black and red cards in there and hopefully it works.
I don't know. It's gonna be weird. I think Dante's up there. The more I look at him, he's really good just because he's hate the whole board.
Yeah. If anything, you're gonna astral turn 1, and then you're just gonna tap him for wheelstones for the rest of the game.
And pay 0, and you don't have abilities. Cool, thanks.
Exactly. Of course, Beatrice and all the blue cards are crap. Like, I'm sorry, but they seem to be worst off ever.
I don't know. I like a lot of the blue cards that Beatrice had. I think they're pretty good.
Like, if you build around her, of course you're supposed to, but with the wall and then the 2-drop, you just discard and gains +4/+4. Cool. But none of the null cards do anything. They give you Remnant.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple that are really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We're going to build a lot of crazy decks coming up. I'm pretty excited about this set, but I also love Fallen Angels. It's just one of my things.
Yeah.
So I was super stoked about the set, period. But just like building wise and playing and seeing it played, they did a lot of really good things in this set just to make it a viable set.
That's why it's hard for us to, like, in this set to be like, it is standard or limited, because most of it's like, you got to play this card just to see if it works, you know?
Yeah. And it has its own checks and balances, so cool. And from what I understand, we didn't get to do our pre-release here, but from what I understand, pre-release is super fun. Like, because all the cards don't necessarily have to be with that ruler. There's no, this can only be played with Beatrice. Like, yes, those cards are better with that person, but they don't have to be.
That's why I love the keywords instead of the actual, like, name, you know? Like, the keywords make it where you can play in any deck ever, and you just get extra bonuses.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like you said, this set looks super fun and amazing.
It does.
We'll see what happens.
With that, guys, the set review is done. We are super excited to play it. Check it out down below. Let us know what you think. Give us a heads up on what you're thinking about playing, who you think's the best.
The craziest combination of Fallen Angel
Yeah,
rulers.
I mean, there's 25 combinations with 5 different rulers, so
yeah,
you know, and each one of them get to play Satan. So hey,
exactly. Might as well, right?
But yeah, Bitey Girl's good. She's just good.
Yep, just wins. She wins. I think she's the winner of the ruler in color and
Yeah.
spells.
All right, guys, we'll see y'all again next time.
Goodbye.
Later. Also, guys, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to our channel, and then hit that bell for any future notifications that you have for our videos.
And we go ahead and give a big thank you to our fans for over the years, especially our Mythic and Above Patreon followers.
Thank you, Ryan.
With that, we love you. Thank you for your support.